Welcome to this summarized presentation about language framework. Today, we will study terms that we will use to describe and analyze text. We will be working on graphology, morphology, lexis, syntax, and grammar. Graphology in the study of English language is concerned with how the Roman alphabet has been developed as a writing system for English and how it continues to be used in print and multimodal forms. In short, in graphology, you are to look at the appearance of the text. For instance, you are to look for the layout of the text, how the words or the text is physically structured, or the typographical features. This time you talk about what font type is used. How about the size? How about the color? You also will talk about orthographic features, or the way the writing systems such as spelling, capitalization, and punctuations are used. And then we shall also be discussing about multimodal text. This is a particular part when you get to see whether there is an interplay of different modes like images, writing, and sound to help shape the meaning of the text. Morphology. A morpheme is the smallest part of a word recognized as having meaning. Morphology deals with the structure of words. There are two basic types of morphemes, free and bound. A free morpheme can exist outside the word, as a word in its own right, so that help in the word unhelpful is a free morpheme. The segments un and full, however, are bound morphemes because although they add meaning and we can see how they are related to help, they can only exist inside the word. Any observation about the internal structure of a word comes under morphology. Bound morphemes can also be inflectional, that is, additions to a word to allow it to fit into a specific grammatical context and agree with this context in terms of tense, number, and/or person. For example, cat, cats. The S sound at the end of cat. Walk, walked. The eating at the end of the past tense walked. Or derivational, that is, bringing semantic changes to the word. For example, changing word class. In the example unhelpful, both un and full are derivational morphemes. Other examples include this, which in some varieties is now a free morpheme, as in respect for disrespect, or able as in drink, drinkable. Linguists will sometimes refer to words as lexical items. Lexis deals with how words enter a language, how words become obsolete, and how a child learns from the early stages of their cognitive and physical development. Lexical analysis is also important in justifying observations about written, spoken, or multimodal style and in making judgments about register. For example, the degree of formality in written, spoken, or multimodal text. Lexical choice is one of the features of spoken language that varies in the UK with geographical region and social factors. Some concepts we may discover are derivation, etymology, dialect, slang, and others. Syntax. Here, we are dealing with structures created by combining words together, phrases, clauses, and sentences. One of the most productive ways in which sentences can be described is in terms of complexity. Syntactic complexity relates largely to the number of clauses per sentence that a text has on an average. Sentences can be simple, compound, or complex. Syntax also covers rules for word order and ways in which different classes of words, such as noun and verb, can be combined. There is an obvious relationship between syntax and morphology in that, for example, a verb requires different endings according to the noun or pronoun that comes before it. For instance, I go, he goes. Grammar is the different ways of describing and analyzing the structure and functions of language. The grammar of a language includes basic actions such as verb, tenses, articles, and adjectives and their proper order, how questions are phrased, and much more. Language definitely cannot function without grammar. It would simply make no sense. People require grammar to communicate effectively. Grammar deals with syntax and morphology.